Hey everyone, here's a quick look at a couple of my aquariums and some houseplants that I have. So I'm not a houseplant person, I don't really know the names. I'll try to remember. I only have a few houseplants, so the reason why I have houseplants is because I set up a aquaponics filter for one of my fish tanks, and I just kept the leftovers and potted them because I didn't want to throw them out. And so I'll start with this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a plant you can buy like at PetSmart or Petco. A lot of people plant this in their aquarium underwater, but it's actually not for that. It does better like above water. So like you can put it in your filter or clip it onto the back of your tank and just have the roots in the water. I've heard it called like corn plant or Darcinia, but I'm not sure. I just know that it grows pretty good in a pot and in my aquaponics filter, and I'll show you my filter in a minute. Then I have this plant here. It's potted. I forget the name of it, but it's really cool. If you can see, it has like silver speckles in it. In the sunlight, it's really cool. I really like it. And it's growing really good. It has all this foliage on it. It just grows like crazy. So it's in front of a window. And let me focus here. And this window, I always hear like some houseplant people say like what their window faces, and this is a south facing window. And I guess it just means like the amount of light. And I crack the blinds like 4 or 5 days out of the week. Sometimes I forget when I go to work and I don't open them, but it still gets pretty good light. Another plant that I have is this right here. I think it's a Pothos enjoy, but I'm not sure. It's a variegated species. It does pretty good. One of the plants that I really like, that I actually don't have growing in my aquaponics filter because I just haven't got around to it, is I think this is a philodendron, Brazil. If I remember correctly, it's pretty cool looking. It's like variegated, but it's like lighter green, like a lime green, and some of the leaves are kind of, when they first come out, are like red. It looks pretty cool. And then down in here, I don't know if you can see, I have a ZZ plant and a couple of I think they're called snake plants or mother-in-law's tongue. I'm not sure. They're pretty cool. So my filter on my fish tank is just a basket that hangs in the filter. I mean, in the filter hangs in the aquarium, so it's like in the water. And again, I have this plant here, which is the same one as that's potted, and it's growing like pretty crazy. And then here's a different variety, but you know, the same thing. It's just a little darker green. And the media it's in is called clay, or I think it might be called leca. I'm not sure. And then I have one leaf of arrowhead plant. Oh man, I think this is called umbrella plant, but I'm not sure. I think it is. And then I have this one here. It's pretty common. I have another one of these. It gets like white flowers on it. Once in a while, it's growing in here. And then I have a really cool plant that I bought in a pot, and it just wouldn't grow, so I stuck it in here. It's like really cool. You can't see it, but in the sunlight, it's like super silver, and it's growing like crazy in here. There's a piece here. There's some more pieces over here and some over here. It's really cool looking. I really like it. And so I'll show you, this is just a basket that I bought. Oh, and then first, this here is, I think it's called Pilea moss. I'm just trying to grow it sort of out of water. But it can grow in an aquarium. So it's just a basket that I bought at the dollar store a while back. I used to have a bigger version of this, but I cut that basket in half. So this is a half a basket. I sort of stuck them together. I zip tied them, and then just planted all the plants in it. So this tank has like no like filter, like a hang on the back filter. It does have an air stone, and it does have some plants. This is a water sprite that I'm floating, and this is a Brazilian pennywort that I'm floating. It has some pearlweed that I'm trying to grow out. It seems to be doing okay. And there's some crypts in here, and this is some dwarf sage. And again, this is a 20 standard or 20 high. And all these fish in here are just sort of retirement kind of tank, except for the Endler guppies. They're a crossbreed between Endler and guppy. And then all the wood and rocks are just from locally sourced. And so that little rock in the back is actually from a company called Aquarium Co-op. It's a little planter for plants, but I actually have growing out of it, that green stem that you see goes all the way out, and it comes out, and it's an arrowhead plant that's actually growing in the fish tank. And it's doing really well. I have another one I'll show you in a second, growing in a 10-gallon. And anytime you can do this in your aquariums, it's really beneficial, because they get CO2 from the atmosphere, from the air, and then they get all their nutrients from your aquarium. So this substrate's like about 4.5–5 inches. It's kind of a thing right now where people are doing really deep substrates, so I wanted to try it out. So there is a heater in this tank. I believe it's like 76, I think. Let's see, 77.2. So it does heat up a little bit from the window. And so but the fish are in there, they're pretty hardy. And then it's just an Aqua Sky LED light. And then I added some lava, or some slate, because I don't have a top for this tank, just in the front, the glass. And so I'll show you the other arrowhead plant. This is a 10-gallon it's growing out of. It's been in there, it's kind of new. Wish the glare wasn't so bad, but you can kind of see the roots there. It'll eventually grow into the substrate. So this is a 10-gallon that I'm growing out some white cloud mountain minnows that I bred. I don't see any now. Why don't I see any? There's a ton in there. Oh, they're at the top. So there's a bunch of baby white cloud mountain minnows in here. I'm gonna grow them out and then put them in another tank, and then I'm gonna make this a cherry shrimp tank. You can see I got a ton of snails in there, but snails are actually beneficial. They eat algae and they eat dead plant matter. They don't eat your plants. They're actually a good thing. They eat leftover food. So don't be afraid of snails. There's ram's horn and I think they're called bladder snails. There's some nearite snails in there too, but I got a lot of algae in this tank, but I leave it because I think it's beneficial. There is a sponge filter in here too, but no heater, because these white cloud mountain minnows can tolerate colder temperatures. And then I'm just running 2 basic LED lights. You can see the window provides quite a bit of light. And then I have this is my umbrella plant. And so I hacked off a piece. I don't know if you can see it, but now there's a little baby growing out of the piece that I hacked off. And then I have, I won't go over it too much, but this is a little 1-gallon jar that I made. Just got a few plants, and you can't really see it because of the glare. But this is my whole little setup, sort of my little relaxing area. So it's a 10-gallon, a 20-gallon, and then aquaponics filter and some house plants. So this video is really long. I didn't mean it to be, but thanks for watching. I'll talk to you on the next one.